So this is a bit different to what I'd normally do. This isn't really going to be a driving video as such, though I obviously am driving and the video footage is obviously driving. But I've decided to have a go at doing some other sort of catch-up type recordings, but I'm going to try and do them either on the way to work or probably more likely on the way home from work. I'm not on the way to or from work at the minute. I spent most of the Christmas holiday cooped up in the house, so I thought I'd just go out and have a random drive around. I'm on the A46 at the minute. Now my journey to and from work is pretty short, and to be honest it's not all that interesting. So what I'm probably going to do instead is put footage up, or put my old videos up that use that as a footage. So I'm probably going to go right back to my very early videos and start there, and probably put maybe 4 of them up on the screen at once and just use that as a video to go along with the audio. Not really sure what else to do other than a blank screen, which is kind of boring really. So yeah, this is also just to do like an audio test really, because I'm not sure how well the audio is going to come out here, because you get a lot of road noise and not really engine noise, it's mostly just road noise. And the quick peek I had a look at earlier on the record levels, it was pretty high just from the road noise, so God knows what this is going to sound like. But I thought I'd just give it a go and we'll see how things turn out. I'm still scooting along here, but I'm going to head back home in a second. I'm not sure what the footage is going to come out like on this. I'm not too impressed with this dash cam. It's the model up from the one I had, one of those umbrella ones. Can't remember what the model is, but this is supposed to be a better censoring than that, but I'm not convinced. I don't think it's a fake one, because I know there has been a lot of fake ones when dash cams were a new thing. There probably still is lots of fake ones. It does seem to be genuine. Well, anyway, probably the next bit of footage will be some of the old videos and me waffling on going to or from work. Well, that's the first day back at work out of the way. I feel knackered. I think the reason for that is I've got into bad sleep pattern again, as I usually do when if I have more than sort of 4 days off, I just tend to fall into the bad sleep pattern. So I was up late anyway, and then by the time I got to bed I didn't want to go to sleep. And then I couldn't get to sleep because I was thinking if I don't get enough sleep I won't wake up in time for work. I was hoping to get a lot more done over the holiday, but as usual I'll just end up, I think because I'm so fed up by the end of the year and so tired of everything, I need a break, and I just tend not to do so much as I hope to do and should do. So I've not really got any of the projects done I wanted to, but I have at least made an effort to try and get a bit more organised and tidy in the house, but also try and organise myself so that I can keep a bit of momentum going and actually get stuff done during the week, because that seems to be where I'm failing quite badly. When you get home from work you don't really want to do anything, but unfortunately if I don't get things done when I get home from work, then it only really leaves the weekend and there's too much to do. Some of the things I would have liked to have done over the holiday was get some more of this PC stuff sorted out that I've got to work on. I've still got PCs to build and servers. It would also be nice to actually have a look at some retro stuff again, but I think it's got to have been at least a year now since I did any work on any retro systems, which is a bit sad really. I keep watching other people's videos where they're working on new projects or revisiting old ones, and it sort of gives me that itch to have a go at stuff myself, but it's just fitting it all in. And what tends to happen is I end up trying to do too many things at once and achieving nothing, which is not really any good. I do sort of struggle focusing on one or two things at a time, or just a small number. I've also got quite a lot of footage I've recorded and then not done anything with. Some of it has been edited a little bit into videos or part videos, and then there's things I've edited partially because they're only partially complete, and then I've recorded more and then more, and it's just like this collection of footage, and it just ends up being this mammoth thing, and I just don't even know how to edit it down, so I've just sort of abandoned these things. But it'd be nice to sort of get that footage edited down and chuck it out as some videos. Probably a lot of it's boring crap really, but another thing I've not done is put the handbrake on properly. One of the other things I haven't done is answer all the questions or just sort of respond to comments, or even just at least give a thumbs up acknowledgement. And again, that's probably something I've not done for over a year, so I really need to go through them, because people have made the effort to leave comments, and one of the reasons I sort of did the YouTube stuff was just to start interacting with people a bit more, and then I've not really replied to anyone, so it sort of defeats the object really. So I keep thinking of doing a video, just doing all the replies in a video, and obviously replying to the comments as well, but maybe make a video about them, because it would enable me to revisit some of the projects and talk about where they're at and what my intentions are. So I might try and do that if I can fit it in, but I've got to get things moving. Personal projects, things with my house, not just the fact that I've got too much stuff in it and it's a mess, but the house itself needs work doing on it. I've been there 10 years now, and you just look at it and think, well, what have you really achieved? And that actually creates a sort of a negative environment in itself then. So I'm sort of trying to break the cycle again. And I'll have spells where I do break this cycle, but then it all goes back into the same sort of patterns of not really getting much done. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm not sort of restarting things and trying to make a new start again because it's specifically the new year. It's not like New Year's resolutions or anything like that. It's never something that's really worked for me. I think it's more that I've had a break and I've had time to stop and think and figure out what I need to do, or I've known what I've needed to do for ages, but it's just getting everything formulated and then making a plan and trying to stick to it. That's always the problem. I always find if I'm implementing changes, I can stick to it for maybe 2-3 weeks at the most, and then things just sort of go back to normal, and normal's generally not very productive. And the problem with then not being productive is then when you do take time out to just enjoy yourself, you feel guilty, so you don't really benefit from the time out properly anyway, because it's a guilty time out rather than I've done some work so I deserve a time out. So I'm trying not so much force myself to fit so many jobs in, but sort of have goals and get certain things done in the week, and then also allocate time for projects, for personal project time, and for just sitting around and doing sod all if that's what I feel like doing, rather than ending up just sitting around doing sod all the time. So I'm going to try and draw up a list of sort of jobs that need doing, which is a massive list, and it could be anything from something that could be take weeks at a time of bit by bit having a go at it, or it could be something that'll only take 5 minutes. You know, it could be change the light bulb in a room that's been gone for the last 6 months that I can't be bothered to sort out, or it could be anything. So I'm going to try and do bits like that. I'm going to try and have a goal of once a week, at least once a week, to have done one thing that's going to make my life a little bit easier or better, even if it's something stupid. A good example there is the taps in the kitchen and the bathroom are absolutely knackered, and you have to do them up really tight. So because of that, all the nuts underneath that hold the taps in position have come loose, so the taps spin around on the top of the sinks, and it's been like that for months, and I just never get to doing it. So a job like that, it's stupid not to do it. So that's the sort of thing I'm going to try and do. And then there are also things I've been putting off because I just don't want to do them. The sort of jobs you keep putting to the bottom of the pile. So I'm going to aim to try and get one of those done every 3 weeks, which it doesn't sound a lot. I think, well, 3 weeks is nothing. But I'm going to try not to load myself up with too many things to do, because it never goes well. So when I write a list of things to do when I get home from work, it always ends up being about 15 things, and it's not feasible. And then that list spills onto the next day with another 15 things, and then nothing gets done, because I just think, well, bollocks to it, I'm not doing any of it. So I think I'm going to try and aim for doing less, and as a result, hopefully, get more done. But we'll just have to see how it goes, really. On the positive side, yesterday I did a bunch of batch cooking, and I'd already done some before Christmas, so I've got lunch for work sorted, and I made some soup, which was a bit crap actually, but I've had a go. I can have another go and make a better one, hopefully. So I've had that for work, and I also put the slow cooker on this morning, so I should be coming home to dinner already there, already made. And then that'll also give me food probably for the next 3 days at least, although I'm sure I'll eventually get bored of eating beef stew. So I'm nearly home now. I don't know if I'll do any more of these kind of videos or not. I just thought I'd give something different a go, and we'll see how it goes. Well, it's dinner time now. I'm off.